Okay, so a few observations of what we have done so far, right? We started last time with Juan, or Juan Yin, right? That means actually welcome. So let's go for it, right? So we have Juan, which is we have six strokes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then this is Juan, and then we have Jing, which is I remember we mentioned a bit particular. It goes something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is a 7, and this is a 6. Okay, let's redo it. So this is a 6, and this is a 7 strokes. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second, right? Strokes which are maybe this, or maybe this one, or maybe this one, create, a combination of stroke makes what we call radicals. Radicals are like these things, for instance, or like the whole thing here. This can be a radical. Okay, so strokes make radicals, and radicals make what we call Hanzi, which are our Chinese characters. So this is a Han, say a Chinese character, right? So again, strokes, radicals, Hanzi. Okay, so now combination of Hanzi creates words, right? Hanzi itself also can be words, right? Depends on the context. But most of the time, it will take a few Hanzi to create a word. But again, that will depend, right? So let's go back to here and let's see. Let's take some consideration. Some obvious, some not so much. So I don't know. I'm gonna go through it and let's see. First of all, let's start with strokes, right? Now, strokes things people. And myself, we used to think, oh, this is a stroke, or this is a stroke, and yeah, these are strokes, and also this one, right? Which are the most common one, probably, right? This is what we call the N. It's a dot, and it can go left to right or right to left. And then we have this is called the hand, right? And it goes always in this direction, right? Left to right. And then we have this thing we call the shoe. Don't worry about the name. It doesn't really matter much. And it goes always up, down, right? Starting from the top and going down. And there's like, I don't know, around 50 or 60 of these ones. So there's a few of them, okay, around there. Now, one thing I was trying to say is strokes are not only like this, okay? It can only be just like here, this. So it can change direction. That's what I mean. I mean, not necessarily a straight line or just a curved line or something like this. It changes directions, okay? It can change definitely directions. And there's a few that are something like this. So they are kind of complex. But most of the time, you're gonna find everything along the way. Sometimes, I guess, working with hands, the most or one of the most challenging things is sometimes figure out in situations like this whether this is one or two strokes. Sometimes it's gonna be clues, sometimes they won't. That takes me to my next point. the number of strokes. This is a very, very important thing. Why? Because, for instance, let's go back to 1E. So if I see this character in the newspaper or in the on a subtitle or whatever, and I don't know what this thing is, I just don't know what it is, I can always count the strokes and go to the dictionary, and in a typical Chinese English dictionary, you will have the characters organized by number of strokes. So if I know, right, that this one is 1 and 2 strokes, I can always go to the dictionary, look at the 2 strokes, and certainly I will find this, and it will tell me what does it mean, and it will tell me a whole lot of information about it. So the number of strokes are going to be critical in our process, right? Understanding Chinese characters. Something also that is going to be very, very important is the order in which characters are, the order of the strokes, right? Given this particular Hans, right, the strokes only can go in one direction. Okay, you have to draw this thing, create your stroke, draw your stroke in one direction. You cannot create this in any direction that you want. Okay, and typically they will go in this fashion. They will go left to right and upside down. Not upside down, up down. So if you take these two as an example, we have this thing. We don't know how to do it, but I know these two things. I know that very often, again, these are no rules. These are more like guidelines. Okay, very often my characters are going to start from the left and also going to go down. So you have this thing. Yes, I will go from the left to the right and then all the way down. And then also for this, right, 1 and 2. So I complete this and then I move to the next one, which is to the left. So that is, again, it's not a rule because it's not like 100% the case, but very, very often is going to be the case. We talk about also in one of these videos about another one, very very character. a very, very common character, right? Which is when we talk about Hua, right? Hui Yin, Hui Jia, which means go back home, right? Or coming back home. So Hui was something like this. I don't know if you remember. And it is going to be very, very often the case for these particular characters. First, we're going to go for the outside, then we're going to complete the inside, and then we're going to close our box. And it's going to be a lot of actually instances in which this is going to be, we're going to encounter these kind of situations, right? Now for Jia, which means house, there's another interesting and very common situation, right? Jia is two things. This is Hui, right? Let's go for Jia. Jia means house. Okay, so Jia is a very common situation. We have 1 and 2, and this is what we're going to do. This upper part is going to be actually a common occurrence. We will see this quite often, and it goes like this. We have a dot, the end. Then we have another the end here, and then this and a hook, right? This is going to be very, very, very often the case. Okay, so we will see this quite a lot, and these are 3 strokes. Okay, so every time you see something like this, 3 strokes: 1, 2, and 3 in that order. And then we're gonna have the character for pig, which is 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's two parts, and this part right here, the little roof right here on the top, is going to be very, how you say, archetypical. We will see that very, very often.